So what is the spiritual energy of the matzah? They tell a story that there was once a tightrope walker, and when he finished his act and he came down from the rope, the people asked him, "What is your secret? How are you able to get across this tightrope without looking down and falling?" So the tightrope walker answered as follows. He says, "Yes, indeed. If I'm on the rope and I look at my right or I look at my left and I look down and I see the danger, I become frightened and I would fall. The only way to succeed is to keep my eyes on the goal, to keep my eyes on the destination. When I focus on the destination, I'm able to cross the tightrope." And there is a tremendous amount of meaning in the story, because this story captures the essence of matzah and of humility. If you look at the matzah is flat as opposed to the bread, which rises. So bread represents the inflated ego, and matzah represents the humility. Now, what does humility mean? Humility means the ability to look at something greater than self, to look at a cause greater than self, to look at someone else outside of myself, to focus on the other. If I am able to internalize the message of the matzah, then I am free. Because the greatest oppressor, the greatest thing that holds me back is my ego. Because I am afraid to grow. I'm afraid to take risk. I'm afraid to try something new because I'm afraid that if I fail, I'm going to be hurt. I'm afraid of failure. I'm afraid of rejection. Yet if I could focus not on the dangers to self, but I could focus like the tightrope walker on the destination, that's the idea of humility. I'm not focusing on myself. I'm focusing at the task that has to be done or at the goal that has to be achieved. Then I am truly humble. If I am humble, I can do what others cannot do. And therefore, this is the message of matzah. It's a little bit counterintuitive. People think that the more they think about themselves, the more they'll be able to achieve. And the matzah teaches us that the opposite is true. The less the person thinks about self, the more humble the person is, the less the person thinks about their own ego, the more they'll be able to grow, the more they'll be able to achieve, and the more free they will be.